Hey, welcome back to Poor Man's Barbecue. I just want to give you a quick little tour of this smoker that I built about 2 years ago. I'll show you some of the features, and we'll be doing some smoker builds in the spring once things warm up. It's really just too cold to be out here in the yard doing that. But let me show you what we got here. So this smoker right here, I built 2 years ago. It is from a 200-gallon expansion tank for a compressor that was in an industrial setting. The facility was closed and this tank was going to go to the scrap yard. A friend of mine was there and let me know about it. I came over, picked it up, and we turned it into a smoker, or rather I turned it into a smoker. So this smoker is what you would call a vertical smoker. There are several different types. I'm going to have another video later on that's going to explain the different types of smokers that are available out there. But this particular one is a vertical smoker. And it has two chambers. The upper chamber, which is the larger chamber, is the smoke chamber, and that's where the meats go. Meats, some vegetables, things like that. The bottom chamber is the fire pit, and that's where we build our fire. That will heat the smoker up to our temperature. Let me open it up a little bit here and show it to you. So the smokers are really broken down into multiple components and parts. Hang on one second. This is, again, kind of a two-handed operation on this one. Ooh, it smells good. So as you can see, it's broken up into two different areas. Down here we have our fire pit. And this is basically a little retaining cage that I made. And what that does, it basically just keeps everything in a concentrated area. But because it's a cage, it allows all the ashes to kind of come off. Those ashes will tend to cover up your coals and it'll end up reducing your temperature. And I do recommend using a basket in here. And really any kind of wood-fired smoker, that's what I would do. So this is our fire chamber. Then we move up here. This is a feature that you're not going to see on a lot of different smokers. So what this right here is, this is actually a piece of soapstone. It is 1.25 inch thick soapstone. Unfortunately it's cracked, you'll have to put a new one in there. And the whole purpose of this is to stop the direct flames that happen here from going up into here and just singeing and burning my food. So this blocks the direct heat, and what happens is the heat and the smoke have to come up around it. So all the way around there's about a 1-inch gap. And the great thing about this stone is that it actually, once it heats up, it really helps to retain the heat in the smoker. It keeps a nice consistent temperature and really helps that heat in the smoker be consistent. On top of that, you probably noticed, is a pan. Now it looks pretty gross, honestly. It's filled with all kinds of fats and oils right now. But this pan, that's a water pan. And that is a crucial part of having in a smoker like this, because what we want is we want to keep some moisture in this smoker. That dry heat from the seasoned wood really can have a tendency to dry out your meats, especially if you're doing a long smoke. So I fill that with water, and that'll kind of steam away for 7-8 hours before it needs to be filled again. Then we have our three racks. We've got a lower rack here, middle rack, and an upper rack. Now the lower rack, I don't honestly use it all that much. And the upper rack, again, I don't really use it all that much. They're kind of really just there for extra space. I can, of course I smoke on them. When I'm doing a large amount of food, I use all of the racks. But the lower and the upper rack tend to run about 10 degrees warmer than the center rack does. So I find myself cooking on the center rack more than anything. These are just made out of expanded steel. Cut them into circles, put them in. They're mounted right on top of these little L brackets that are bolted into the side here. And the interior of the smoker. And then we have our chimney. And I've got that cap on there because what I found is a lot of times we get these cold downdrafts, especially in the winter time, and I do smoke year round. So what happens is the wind will just blow right down the chimney and it drops my temperature in here, 40 or 50 degrees in a matter of seconds. So what I've done is I put this cap on here that deflects the wind, and basically when I have those cold downdrafts that just come blasting right down on top of me, that deflects all that cold away. Keeps my temperatures good and allows for a nice airflow. So there's the smoker. This is a homemade job. I do build these, and this spring I'm going to be doing a bunch of smoker builds. I'm going to be putting it up on YouTube, and every single one I make is going to be for sale. So, you know, we're going to weld some we're going to bolt. This particular one is just only bolted, and I call this my Franken smoker because it just kind of reminds me of that. And I love the rustic look. You know, this was all painted black with wood stove paint. But I love the way it's aged and patinaed, really. You know, I just love it. It's rustic, and when you open this thing up, my God, does it smell good in there. You know, and on the doorways here, I neglected to mention, this here is wood stove gasket from the doors on wood stoves. So both my doors have this all the way around, and this gives me a really nice airtight seal. So anyways, that's my smoker. Hope you like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This is Poor Man's Barbecue, and this smoker, honestly, I built this for under $300, and these smokers would retail, if this was professionally built and you were buying this somewhere, you'd be looking at somewhere in the high 2000s for this thing, but it cost me about $300 to build. So anyways, enjoy your weekend, and don't forget to tune in. Tomorrow I'm putting up a video. I'll be doing a smoked meatloaf, and that will be put onto YouTube probably in about a week, and it's going to be delicious. I'll see you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe.